Are you tweeting now? Ooh, hello.
Okay, sounds good.
Tiebreaker. Oh yeah, the chat's there. All right. Let me retweet
Oh
it.
boy, here we go. I guess I should have Twitch open. There we go. Oh,
Let me retweet it real quick, and then we're ready to go.
I probably should mute myself with me to type. I have a mechanical keyboard. It's going to be super loud.
Yeah, I can hear it really high. I like it.
I'll just avoid typing or I'll mute myself. It's fine. Yeah.
It's all good. Yep. All right, so let's start. So this is the tiebreaker. I'm sure, like, if you've been following the World Cup, you've seen the crazy comeback from Team USA on the last couple of days. So it's tied at 104 points for each team after 48 matches. So basically, this decides if this decides seed one. Oh crap! No, it will start. It's just like we're already live.
Yeah, people see it.
True. There's a 3 minute delay. You're right. So they'll hear us in the past, basically.
Yes, so, yeah.
That's to avoid stream sniping. If you guys are wondering why. So yeah, it's gonna determine like seed one, seed two, winners. So seed one will play seed eight from that triple tiebreaker from Greece, UK, and Chile, I believe. I don't know when that will be played, if that will be streamed or not. We actually didn't introduce ourselves. I'm CCO. I'm the Team Canada captain, and with me is.
I am Soler of Sinnoh. I am a high-ranked GBL player, self-ace
You're a pretty good Canadian player too, aren't you? Like, you used to be top 10.
I took number one after Ferocious because it was super early in the month, and I'm floating around somewhere in the top. I don't even know.
You're very close to the top for sure. You could have made the team. I think I just made it. Like, nobody was actually organizing anything, so I just went really quickly. I know people were so confused about like how did I actually pick the people to make it, and I tried messaging as many as like my friends or people I knew from Canada, and then like I got a lot of response. I know there's another guy from Vancouver, X3 Goat or something. He has a weird name. Like, he wanted to join, but he was already done. So.
I'm 10th in Canada as we speak.
All right. So yeah, this match is pretty like, I think, inconsequential, but for bragging rights, I think.
Absolutely. I mean, like, you can say it's inconsequential because they're both already at the top of the bracket, but being first seed and being second seed.
Yeah, but like, I think like if everything goes according to what should happen, this matchup should repeat itself in like the winners finals in like the last round. So like,
okay.
So this is like a preview of what should happen.
Awesome. And that'll be Arrow and Arrow again, or not necessarily? Just Canada
probably not. It depends on like what we want to do, because each captain will select. We'll place each player for in like 1 through 8, and then these players will play the other team. So I don't remember who's the USA captain. I think it might be. I actually don't know, because they're all really bad at organizing stuff. They're always super.
So, in your opinion, Ereval is a clear favorite here, right?
It's not a clear favorite. I think if I was a betting man, which I kind of am, I'd guess like 55 or maybe 60-40 to Ereval, team-wise and player-wise. But like, I think at this level, Pokemon Go is sometimes like really rough. Like, it's really close. Like, if Arrow gets lucky a couple times, like should be good. Same thing for Aravel. Like team wise, like I think matchup wise, the like Aravel's team is a bit better. So so I'd say he's the favorite, but you're a top battler. You're a top battler as well. Like it's rough sometimes. You can get like
Absolutely.
3 really bad leads and then 3 really bad secondary matchups, and there's kind of no way you can come back from that.
I remember getting absolutely 3-0'd in like a Tempest Cup or something, just like like Lapras and Atropius kind of thing, like every round, and just
Yeah. So sometimes there's nothing you can do, and I think Arrow has that kind of team, like right, like Bastiodon is not a Pokemon that is usually a Pokemon like that, really inflexible, and once you land the matchup, there's nothing you can do. However, Aravel's team, like besides Jirachi, there's nothing that really Bastiodon just hards wall, and even the Jirachi matchup can be quite close in the 2 shields. So
yeah, it seems that there's a little bit more flexibility on Aravel's team.
for sure, it's definitely like not the meta, right? Like if you look at his team already, like Gen 1 picks, okay, like Venusaur, like it's not the I'd say the most common pick, and then Azumarill, that's fine. Swampert is really interesting. That's definitely not a pick you see like in the third slot in Gen 3. Like we've from the tournaments I've done, like you see a lot of Alterias, makes sense. Some Registeel, however, like really not that much. And then I'd say maybe like Tropius is another like really common pick. Maybe Deoxys Defense in some early tournaments.
Do they know each other's movesets?
I don't think so.
Okay.
So I will not reveal anything until we actually see them.
Yeah, it would definitely be interesting to see what Swampert is running.
Yeah, basically the only thing that we want to see is the Swampert and the Azumarill on each side. Technically, you could run something weird on Alolan Raichu. That's one thing.
Yeah, you could bring like a Psychic or something.
Psychic, Grass Knot, Wild Charge. I think all the movesets have like considerations. I think Psychic would be the least like, because like Wild Charge can basically do the same thing as Psychic. Well, because like the Psychic you're trying to hit mostly like Alterias and stuff. Mm-hmm. It's usually what you want to try to hit.
Yeah, I mean it would absolutely demolish Venusaur.
Yeah, that could work actually. Like I didn't think about that. And like Grass Knot is good for the Mud Boys, but there's barely any Mud Boys in this tournament. And if I recall correctly from Arrow's stream, you were cutting out a bit. Should be
I'm
fine.
back,
Yeah. I think he's running Psychic a lot. I remember him like playing GBL in Great League, and if he didn't change his moveset, he might be running Psychic. Yeah. All right. Perfect. Okay. We should be starting like soon-ish. I think I know they're setting up on the other side. Hi to everyone in the chat. I see some familiar faces.
So, if you're Aravel here, I mean, you know where your good matchups are, obviously, but there's that eternal, self tournament dance of, countering the lead, countering the counter lead.
Yeah.
What do you think looks like a healthy lead for Aravel in this first round?
I think there's a lot of play. Like Swampert makes sense. Azumarill makes sense. Even like Toxicroak is really solid in the 1 shield as well. And like sometimes with 2 shields, he'll just like get out bulk. Mm-hmm. But I think the 1 shield is really solid. Even Venusaur is solid. I think like the Zweilous has play, especially for those for that Psychic type of like HU plus the Haunter is like really big walls. Yeah. But I don't see Arrow like bringing those two Pokemon that much, honestly.
Yeah, no, I mean, if you look at the matchups, like there doesn't really seem to be a big motivator for him to bring Raichu, right? I mean, like it threatens the Azumarill, and I guess it threatens the Jirachi. But beyond
I think Jirachi still wins that matchup, and like it kind of threatens Toxicroak, but like you need the two shields. I think it's a risky play. Honestly, I'm expecting a lot of like Azumarill seems like a really good pick on both sides.
Yeah, I was just about to say, because if you know that the Raichu isn't likely and you're Aravel, it's like, okay, well, there's the rest of the team is pretty soft to Venusaur, right? So it's not soft to Azu. So as long as you can get that Venusaur out of the way,
and like Azumarill is always a good Pokemon, right? Like even in like really hard anti-Azumarill like teams, you can always play it. There's always like, especially if they're running Hydro Pump. I think we don't know their movesets at this point, but Hydro Pump's always a good closing move. So when you look at like the simulations, Azumarill with Hydro Pump wins a lot of the zero shields. So like even against like hard counter teams.
I think Hydro Pump is essential in this format, just because like Steel Tanks are out there and Hypno's out there.
Yeah, it's just like it's too good not to have, I feel.
So
go ahead.
I do feel like Aravel's team is a little soft to Altaria.
Oh, definitely.
So, I mean, I guess an obvious lead for Arrow is Altaria, and then an obvious counter lead is Azumarill. So how do you react to that? But I feel like we're definitely going to maybe just see stock Altaria and Azumarill from Arrow, and then just what that third slot is going to be will be really what decides it.
I agree. I think Azumarill is really safe here, like on both sides. So I'm expecting them to bring it on like both times, or like all 5 games if we get to that. Obviously, I think this is like they should be nervous on both sides, right? Like this is like kind of it's streamed. It's a like high pressure situation. It's bragging rights. It's like the classic NA battle, like Canada versus USA. Like we've seen this battle before a lot, and after like the group stage of the World Cup, it's pretty interesting to see that like both teams. What did he lock in? I think.
Yeah, here we go. Okay, great casters we are. Let's see it.
Yeah, I think he locked in Zweilous, Jirachi, and Azumarill. Yeah. Interesting lead, honestly. I think it's a bold call, but it could pay off.
Let's see what we got. Okay.
That's not a bad matchup. The Altaria obviously wins, but it needs to shield. If the Altaria decides not to shield, the Zweilous should be able to win out that matchup. So this first body slam is extremely important.
I think this is a no-brainer shield.
You have to, yeah. So like you have to shield there because like Zweilous will outpace you to the body slam. So if the Altaria doesn't shield here, he's gonna switch. Yeah, makes sense.
Switch, yeah. Nice.
So that's what we were talking about earlier. The Jirachi safe switch is really hard to deal with.
And you were saying with energy, it does beat the Raichu, right?
It should, yeah.
Okay. Let's have to see how this goes. This is going to totally hinge on how this Raichu Jirachi plays.
So let's try to find out like what Arrow has in the back. He doesn't have Bastiodon, that's for sure. I'm expecting Azumarill in the back, which would be a logical option. All right,
no shield. Come down to Azu moveset.
Ooh, that's a bad CMP tie. It should be Thunder Punch. I don't know if Jirachi survives. Maybe with a sliver of health.
Yeah, nice. Whew.
All right, so should draw the shield and Raichu farms down, but I think Zweilous comes back out and farms here.
Yeah, but then does Azu come back in though? Because he's kind of in big trouble if Azumarill comes back. But then we have the Azu.
He can like pull out some body slam pressure and like that should be enough. I assume the Zweilous comes back in, farms down, and then maybe Azu. Yeah, there we go.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Okay, so I don't know if I.
Yeah,
I don't know
I
about
would
that switch,
stay
but
in
he
there, right?
has a full body slam.
Exactly. Like you stay in, apply the body slam, and then you have a winning Azumarill matchup, and you can save the Azumarill Altaria for the end.
All right. So Hydro Pump, I don't think we saw the other move. I'm assuming Ice Beam. If not, he would have done Play Rough. So
Yeah, yeah.
makes sense. So this is going to be close because sometimes that Azumarill matchup kind of flips depending on like where you are at energy and like how much actual damage was applied from the Dragon Breath. As you see, like Arrow's Azumarill is slightly ahead in energy, but slightly behind in health. So I'm expecting a counter switch of some sort to maybe try to catch a Hydro Pump. Yeah,
Yeah. Here it is.
that's a good
Ooh,
play
nice.
on Arrow's side because he was expecting the switch.
Yeah. I was just about to say, if you expect a sack, beautiful.
Yeah, that was really smart because he like held off on throwing the Hydro Pump, and I think it's a smart move to go for Ice Beam here.
Does a
Just
body
because,
slam
like,
kill here, maybe? Yeah, probably.
he's going to lose the race to the Hydro Pump, and I'm pretty sure Body Slam might kill here.
Yeah. You just
So
have to be careful he doesn't let the Azu overcharge enough to Ice Beam the Zoilus.
Azu can't actually like have two Ice Beams, so this is really smart because like Arrow counted well, but the Zoilus is just going to Body Slam here and take the win.
Oh, he had it. He had it. Okay. Very nice.
We're trying not to be too biased, but obviously, you guys know we're rooting for Canada, obviously. So well played. Actually, keeping the Body Slam in the back was really good because I'm pretty sure Zweilous also wins the CMP versus Azumarill. So it kind of put Arrow in a tough spot.
Do you think there was merit to staying in the Zoilus versus the Zoo, firing off the Body Slam right away rather than how it went?
I think it could have worked because I don't think the Arrow's Azumarill would have been able to KO. So he would have his probably only winning condition was like actually pulling off the swap. I think Hydro Pump might have still KO'd the Altaria because actually he was like half health. It would have been really close, but the Altaria had no energy or like barely any. He might have had like 25% of his sky attack. So I think either way, Arrow was in a tough spot.
Yeah.
I think the Jirachi safe switch worked wonders here. I think not. I think shielding the.
Here we go. What did they lock in this time?
I didn't check. I was too busy trying to analyze it.
Okay.
I think actually the mistake might have been shielding Alone Raichu.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Let's say like you let it go. Now Arrow would have been kind of in trouble with that one shield left on Arrow's side.
Yeah, because yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
That might have been like a turning point for sure. I didn't see what he locked in. I saw the Jirachi. I'm expecting the same.
I believe it was Venusaur Azumarill. So the Venusaur lead because of that Altaria is terrifying, right? So.
Oh yeah, for sure.
We'll see. I think that's definitely a very, very bold pick to bring out the Venusaur when that was just that Altaria matchup.
The thing is, like, Venusaur is a good counter to Azumarill, right? But it's not the same like level as let's say like a Meganium. And Ice Beam still chunks.
Exactly. Lacks that bulk, right?
Yeah. So that's one problem. However, it has Sludge Bomb to threaten the Altaria, which is kind of slightly better versus the Flyers. If you need it, you at least have that option. I'm seeing a lot of cool cats in the chat, which are.
Now, what did surprise me is that we did end up proving that Raichu, even though you and I were both talking about how it doesn't really seem like the most solid pick against Arvel's team. It's very interesting that he decided to bring it despite some sort of iffy matchups. Here we go.
It definitely really good versus the Azumarill, but obviously it's rough. So I don't think this is a good lead matchup for the Jirachi because the Volt Switch damage is gonna add up a lot, and Raichu resists all the moves here.
Yeah.
Ooh, he got a confusion through, however. Yeah, I would also be tempted to shield. We haven't seen the second move on Arrow side, but I don't think I see a shield here. Actually,
wow,
error because like Raichu should be able to beat.
Yeah, he absolutely tanks that, right? Like I
If
think
it's wild charge, he's in trouble. But I think it was his fifth Volt Switch. So this is the same like situation we saw earlier, right? Like
yeah.
in game one, where this shield might be crucial here.
I think he's over investing in his Raichu a little bit here.
They're gonna both
Wow.
kill themselves. That's really interesting because this like secondary matchup is gonna be really, really.
In the Raichu, I think that's one a Zoo counter down. I think you bring in. I think a Zoo is pretty safe here.
Yeah, the thing is, it's probably Altaria. There's like, it could be something else, but there's a good chance it's Altaria in the back.
And yeah, so that's kind of the other train of thought, right? Is like on the one hand, we just took out an Azumarill counter, so maybe Azumarill is safe. But on the other hand,
switches in.
Yeah.
Let's see. Yeah. Actually, like, we'll see how Arrow plays this, but he was like kind of slow to the switch, so Evan, like Aravel is going to be able to pressure with Sludge Bomb, and it does like kind of a good chunk of damage. We'll see if, ooh, that's clutch. I think, I don't know how you want to play this out. He has a lot of energy, and the Azumarill has like virtually zero energy right now.
But this just has so much health. I'm not sure if it's going to matter. Plus, these Dragon Breaths are going to add up, and there's probably going to be a Sky Attack coming through.
Yeah, I don't think he shields here. Yeah.
Oh, wow. Okay. Wow.
And ooh, that's a big like health loss. That's like more than one Hydro Pump. These Dragon Breath like did add up. You're right. So this is going to be close because there's still like one shield in place. So one bait could be like extremely.
Yeah, absolutely. There could be a bait.
Yeah. All right. Shields the Hydro Pump. And that's the thing. Like in these Azu mirrors, sometimes like you live with a couple HP, and those couple HP allows you to like fire off a last second Ice Beam. So this health advantage is really weird.
Exactly.
Going for the bait, this could be extremely crucial.
Oh, here's the bait.
The bait. He got a bubble through. I'm assuming this is Hydro Pump, so this is gonna be like he's gonna beat him to the Ice Beam. Oh, we Ice Beam. What the hell?
But does a Hydro Pump KO now?
That's a massive.
No, it doesn't. Yeah.
Yeah. Looking back, like Aravel had like overfarmed a lot there, so he had way more energy than I thought. So.
Wow.
Yeah. Arrow probably realized that he couldn't get like Hydro Pump plus Ice Beam. So he was like, maybe two Ice Beam would kill it. And I'm pretty sure if I counted correctly, he was one bubble off that second Ice Beam. So that might actually not have been a mistake.
So you think he was going for double Ice Beam?
I think it was the play because he was definitely not winning. After getting baited, he can't go Hydro Pump Ice Beam. There's no way.
He's always going to lose that race. That's true.
Yeah, always, always, always. So I think like he was really close. He was probably one bubble off, especially since he got a bubble through. Like on the bait, he got a bubble through. So I think that might have been really close. He might even been at Ice Beam. It might have been CMP because of that bubble.
Oh, and they locked in again.
I didn't see what he locked. I'm usually good at this, but I was so hyped, and obviously.
Same team. Okay. Same team.
Same team? All right.
Let's see if we see this Jirachi matchup against the Raichu again, and maybe if Arrow decides to not shield one of those Doom Desires and just...
Well, the thing is, he didn't shield and they both died, right?
Yeah.
However, if Arrow saw correctly, he saw that one Confusion went through, like, so... Actually, Confusion's 4 turns, so is Volt Switch, so that Confusion actually helped Aravel a lot. Because it's that last Confusion that helped him like kill Raichu at the same time. I'm really surprised that Aravel was able to pull it off, even after giving up switch advantage by switching in the Venusaur on the Altaria.
Yeah, as soon as I saw the Venusaur and Altaria matchup, I was like, oh, okay, well, that's this next game. But he pulled it off just with the bait mostly.
I think Arrow could have been able to shield the Altaria, at least put on some Sky Attack pressure, and that Dragon Breath damage might have been able to like straight up do it.
I totally expected a shield on that ice beam and just Dragon Breath and a Sky Attack comes through, right? And then
you force like, do you want to shield or and you kind of have to shield because you have the Azumarill in the back. However, like you don't really want to shield a Sky Attack or a Hydro Pump from Azumarill. Anyways, it would have put Aravel in a really sticky situation.
okay, so we do see Jirachi into Azumarill.
So this is obviously like not the worst matchup for Jirachi, but he definitely loses. I think the important part is here is let's see if he can get some confusions through while Arrow's doing some moves. I think that was good. It really felt like the confusion started like animation started like ended early because of the bubble. So I think that's good for Jirachi. I think the 2-shield matchup is really, really close. Ooh, that's a weird play.
Oh yeah, that's definitely oh geez, this is a rough switch for Raichu. Unless he's running Psychic.
However, is he running Psychic? We were talking about this earlier.
No shield.
This could be the Psychic.
Oh!
There we go.
Oh
we called it like we called it in the pregame show basically where in Go Battle League I knew Arrow was running Psychic, so that's a big move. It's going to be really rough to come back from this, but this Raichu has to shield, and Jirachi had so much energy.
Oh no!
Well, like I think Raichu just wins the CMP there, so like that makes sense.
Yeah. But like that's just rough to hit the tie.
Yeah, he's gonna be able to farm down here because I don't think Jirachi has like this weird like. Oh no, he has 0 energy. Usually it's like I think it's 3-2, 3-2 in terms of confusion for Doomsire. No farm down. He was scared of like the 2 confusion Doom Desire, so it makes sense. That's actually good for Avril, but it's gonna be really rough because I'm assuming the Azumarill's in the back.
Oh god, and he takes another Thunder Punch. Yikes! Yeah.
No, he was gonna take one for sure.
Yeah.
However, this Psychic is kind of a one-trick pony, right? Like
now he knows.
Like I don't think Aravel is gonna. Oh, actually, this might be close. If it's Altaria in the back, this could be really close.
No, the Ice Beam doesn't do that much to Altaria though.
True, it won't. He's gonna get the Sky Attack.
Yeah, I think Sky Attack is
It's gonna be close. It's gonna be really close, actually.
Yeah.
Okay.
The IVs of the Azus of the.
Yeah. One more bubble, and Altair should be at Sky Attack.
Oh no way!
Yeah, that's gonna kill for sure.
Maybe we'll undercharge it.
Even with the Psychic, like the match was really close, anyways. Ooh, yeah, barely. So 2-1. But the thing is, like he brought Raichu every game, right? But that Psychic now is gone. Like, it's not gone, but with the information, I assume Aravel is going to be like maybe reluctant to switch in the Venusaur on the Raichu, but he might bring something else.
So I feel like we definitely saw the Venusaur as a reaction to seeing that Raichu, right?
Yeah.
Now, do we still see it? Is it still the right reaction now that we know that it's carrying Psychic?
I think so. You just have like to shield it, and like Raichu does not like the Vine Whip damage. Like it does a lot and really fast. Raichu is so squishy in Great League, like there's nothing you can do about it. So I think he might like shield, and anticipating that Arrow might shield bait, which could be extremely risky.
So do you think we could see a Swampert here instead?
He actually locks in the same lead. I don't know if I'm a fan of the Jirachi lead. I think it's way better as a switch in, but we'll see if it pays off. Because basically, Azumarill is the only thing it doesn't want to see. Like that Raichu, it kind of can handle in the even shield scenario for sure. I don't see Arrow playing Bastiodon either. So like this Jirachi is extremely safe. That's for sure.
Well, you think it belongs more as a safe switch than as this lead?
I think so. I think with a couple of confusions like ahead, Jirachi's an absolute monster.
Do you think a Venusaur lead is too crazy?
it's risky, right? Like if you catch the Altaria, you're probably in trouble because that Raichu could be in the back if you switch in a Azumarill.
Yeah.
And obviously, if you switch in that Jirachi, uh, it could work, but you're gonna have trouble getting back switch advantage sometimes.
So, why do you feel like Aravel picks up Venusaur over Swampert here?
I think that could be a tell. I don't know his Swampert moveset. Because if he's running Earthquake, that could be like one thing that doesn't like lead you to pick the Swampert here.
Yeah.
I think he wants to have us like just like Arrow's bringing Raichu for the Azumarill. Well, he's bringing Venusaur for like Arrow's Azumarill. So like if he calls lead, this is really good.
Nice. Yeah.
So if the Azumarill comes out, this is good. I don't know what he'll do if the Raichu switch in comes in. So I'm interested in that. I actually think Altaria doesn't do that bad in the 2 shields. Wow. I did not know they CMP tied to the first one. However, Jirachi takes one less confusion for the second Doom Desire.
Yeah.
So
definitely the shield pressure favors Jirachi here.
Yeah. If I'm Arrow Air, I don't think I shield. And
we did see
a shield, yeah. And then the switch comes in.
But he did damage shield though. So like you said about Venusaur versus Meganium, right? He has to be a little bit afraid of that Ice Beam.
Yeah. And the thing is, like in the 2 shields, like Venusaur will get to the Frenzy Plant, the Ice Beam first. That's actually really good that he tanked the Ice Beam.
Yeah, because he knows he can survive these bubbles, and outpace.
I don't know if like Arrow missed intentionally some bubbles because it felt like it didn't do like that much damage.
He lets it go through, and now he's going to come back into the Altaria and farm down.
If he gets to a Sludge Bomb.
Ooh, beautiful.
That's going to probably force Arrow to a shield here.
Absolutely. Yeah, there's no way this goes through. Oh, wow.
Oh, wow. Okay. That's a big play.
On the back. Raichu sweep, he thinks. Okay. That does make sense. We do have Azumarill Jirachi with two shields up on the...
I think I'm bringing... I don't know, actually. I think I'm bringing Azumarill here.
This is going to be tough. He needs to get like 3 charge moves in, right? Maybe even 4 because he has... No, fast moves will add up. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so that wasn't too bad. And like Azumarill's bulky, right? It can tank a Thunder Punch. And we know Arrow's not running Wild Charge here. So that's actually not a bad call. A Confusion gets through. That's big. Because that means he's getting to Doom Desire.
Side shield, yeah. Oh, he's going to switch out. Oh, he takes it, though. That was back-to-back.
That's actually a really good play.
Beautiful, yes.
I was thinking it was a mistake, but actually that's really good. Yeah. However, he probably loses CMP to the Thunder Punch here. Yep.
Yeah. Wow. That's going to be it, I think, right?
Does that kill? It's got to be close.
Absolutely. That destroys.
I don't think so. It's got to be close. I'm sure it was a couple HP.
Yeah. You going to try to Confusion down?
No. That was a good play, I think.
That Raichu
was coming in clutch. That Raichu's coming in clutch right now.
Not shielding the Altaria was such a huge call. Just being able to, knowing that the fast move pressure was really low, and he could just Volt Switch, Thunder Punch, everything. Yeah.
Yeah. That's a really risky play. Yeah. Really risky play for sure. All right.
Well, here we go. Game 5. Couldn't ask for much better than that. Okay.
Yeah. It looked like a wrap early, and my prediction was 3-0, but I think the Jirachi lead is just not working. I think the switch in would be extremely helpful here.
Mm-hmm.
We'll see what he locks in here. Obviously, like maybe that Psychic played a mental game like in his head because he was clearly at a big advantage in that third game. And not shielding that Psychic might have put like him on the ropes, and you do not want to give like any rope to top players like that. So
it just puts you on the back foot, right? Like as soon as your game plan goes out the window to some big surprise like that, you start to doubt your course of action a little bit.
Yeah, for sure.
We'll end up seeing double Raichu counters here.
Yeah, I don't know if I like double Raichu counter. I like this potential as well as lead.
Yeah,
I think it might be the the either Altaria or Raichu is good for the Zweilous, and that's how he won game one was the Zweilous lead. However, Arrow could definitely call this because, like a lot of people, once you're like, let's say like backed up against the wall, you kind of use teams or teams that worked in the past. So let's say you won game one, a lot of people tend to come back to that lineup.
Yeah.
Saying, oh, I won with this, I can win again.
But I mean, what's the worst case scenario for Zweilous lead? Azumarill?
For sure. For sure.
Oh, I mean, and then we have the Jirachi switch-in, right? So I think Zweilous with okay, we're going with Azu lead, Venusaur, Jirachi, I believe.
I think Azu lead is safe, but he's gonna kick himself if it's the Raichu lead.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be a Raichu lead. I think in a game 5 like this, you just stick to your guns.
He only led Raichu once.
Okay,
I believe. I don't know actually, but Jirachi switching is really strong against that lineup, especially like the Azu, like the Raichu. No one wants to see the Jirachi switching. Maybe Arrow makes a play here and pulls out the Bastion. That would be crazy.
Yeah. Well, we have. I mean, that Bastion wouldn't be great against this line because we have.
It would be really bad, but it would absolutely destroy Jirachi.
Yeah. So the worst case for the Azu lead is definitely that Raichu.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
I don't see a Venusaur here. Like, I don't think Arrow like deviates from his line of three there.
Oh, okay.
Mirror match. Okay, this is kind of important because it's probably Raichu in the back.
Yeah, absolutely.
Ooh. Okay, it looked like they synced up. So they're both running Hydro Pump here. Like, this could be a bait fest, but I'm expecting no shields from either side.
Even if Aravel loses this, though, he's happy to have his Azumarill not facing up against that Raichu, right? Like, even if Azumarill goes down, at least he has two okay matchups against the Raichu.
Did he pick Venusaur? I don't remember.
I believe he's bringing Azu, Venusaur, Jirachi.
That's one thing. The Venusaur not lining up with the Azu is also just as bad as the Raichu not lining up with the Azu. However, the Venusaur should beat that Raichu.
Yeah, assuming that baits are called correctly and such.
Yeah, and he doesn't get psychic like game 3.
Oh, that would be so tragic if game 5 ended in a psychic. Oh.
Yeah, let's not jinx it.
Sorry. Yes.
Or we might have already did.
Yeah. Ooh, talking about that psychic.
All right, let's see. It looks like Paravel's winning CMP.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Oh, I would have. Yeah.
I would have Ice Beam, but
yeah.
Actually, you know what? He wants energy, and that might be a good call.
Oh my god!
It didn't kill.
Wow.
Interesting. Azrael's just.
This gonna be another simultaneous.
No, I don't think so. I think. He switched. That's a mistake. I think so. Because if it's Altaria in the back and the Jirachi, it's game over.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a big mistake. Because the Venusaur is going to be able to farm down, and he's not going to reach a psychic.
Oh no, he's absolutely never a psychic. Okay.
That was 3. Okay, he got the psychic. I think he got a Volt Switch on the Azumarill, which I might have missed.
What a big shield! That would have
been. This is troublesome. I also think so. Like, there's Jirachi in the back. Jirachi with confusion. Like, he has to shield this. Yeah. Yeah, good switch. Like, the only thing that can save Arrow at this point is maybe a sack swap. Maybe. And even then, I don't think it's enough.
And we saw Arrow call that sack swap and be very careful of it in the first game. So
yeah, in game 1. So he has to, like, make sure he doesn't get sack swap here.
Was the Azu at 0 energy?
Azu has nothing.
Okay. Yeah. Like 1 HP, no energy.
It's like 1 HP. Okay. This doesn't do that much damage to Jirachi. He's still very squishy, so. But he's really. Oh, wow. That did no damage.
Fine. Yeah, that's fine. Oh.
It has more energy than I thought, but yeah.
Oh, beautiful. That's it.
It had basically 1 bubble of energy, and going for the psychic for the disrespect.
Oh,
That's really good, actually. Just showing that you have psychic as well. I like it. The BM play. It's not gonna kill, but yeah.
and there he is. Finish such fun. Beautiful. Well played.
And how fitting that after getting psychic in the face, and the psychic get the revenge for game 5. I like it. And Canada clutches it. Yes, I will try to. One sec. Where is he? Damn. That psychic in game 3 from the right shoe, like almost flipped the match entirely.
And again, in this game that we just saw, right? It almost. I mean,
yeah, he had to shield, but I'm talking about the game 3. Like the momentum, like switched so fucking hard. Oh, my bad. I'm just kind of hyped. And I saw what Susan Boyle was saying in the chat that obviously I'm probably the one that was the most stressed out of Team Canada as the captain, and like sometimes I also wanted to maybe be the one like actually playing the tiebreaker. So
gotcha.
I think I was the most stressed going into this. Like I said, I don't think this match matters too much in the grand scheme of things, but like for bragging rights, why not?
It's a huge win, even if it's not technically like standings wise. It's a huge win.
It's definitely a huge win. I think last game, honestly, the switch to Raichu was a mistake.
Yeah, I mean, like it seems, you're like, okay, I'm going to lose this Zoo matchup. I'm going to try and get cheeky and catch it, but like, is giving up switch advantage really worth that?
Yeah, he would have won that. He would have won the Azu mirror because it's better IVs.
Are you sure? I think you live. Because if I looked at the video, like his Azu had less health than yours.
I mean, yeah, mine has higher attack than his, so it really just depends on IVs. I'm not sure. It might have been a tie.
That matchup is weird because sometimes like surviving one more bubble like gives you like immense advantage, but also like doing 1 or 2 or 3 more damage on that ice beam might make the difference.
Yeah, it wasn't a sure thing at all, but yeah, as soon as he swapped to Raichu, that was my game.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Oh, can they hear me?
So game one was the Zweilous lead, right?
Yeah.
Zweilous lead into Altaria, and then like you kept the
normally that's really not so bad for me, but what he had actually told me, what he told me during our match was that his Altaria is rank 2. So that was not working out well for me, even though my Zweilous is really high IV or really high PvP IV.
Yeah, we were wondering.
My Zweilous is like a rank 33, so it's, yeah. In an Altaria mirror, it generally does pretty well, but against a really high bulk Altaria, it's not going to win that.
Usually, I think the matchup how it plays out is that Zweilous beats like Altaria in like all shields if the IVs are like if it's not bulky enough.
Yeah, so bulky Altaria will win against bulky Zweilous. Bulky Altaria, I think, loses to attack Zweilous, and attack Altaria loses to bulky Zweilous. So it's really weird like that.
Yeah, I think the thing is like Zweilous should beat Altaria to the sky attack every time. So that pressure is like Altaria to shield the first body slam. If they don't shield, Zweilous can just.
Oh yeah, if they don't shield, that's my game. They have to shield that body slam.
They have to, and even that second one, like if you're not confident in like your Altaria IVs, that second one can kill if you're not bulky enough.
Yeah.
So
I think one like what I thought at the time in game 1 was a mistake was not throwing the body slam on Azumarill, but it actually made sense to keep the body slam in the back to make sure you win CMP against anything that Azumarill could do. And Arrow tried to farm as much energy as he could. I think he had 100 energy, but if I recall, Ice Beam's 55, so you need one more bubble anyways.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I was saying. That's what I was actually telling him during our match, was that because I already had body slam on my ready on my Zweilous, he had no chance. He needed that one more bubble.
Even if you didn't have body slam and he gets a bubble through, I'm pretty sure you still win CMP.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
So like, it looked close, but it wasn't close at all on that ending. Game 2, I don't remember what you did. Did you lead Jirachi?
The big deciding moment in game 2 was when he decided not to to he decided to let the Sludge Bomb take down his Altaria rather than preserving it to have the 2v1 Altaria and.
That was game 4, I think.
What was that for?
Yeah, that was game 4 because he won that. He had Raichu in the back, remember?
This is the one where he ended up winning the very, very close Azumarill mirror in the end because of the Ice Beam at the very end instead of the Hydro Pump.
Oh yeah, he tried to do double Ice Beam. You're right. That's game.
So he decided.
He didn't shield instead of like shielding. Yeah, instead of shielding the Altaria to do another Sky Attack, he let it go through because he thought that his Azumarill had enough HP to win. And then there was that crucial bait.
Yeah, if I hadn't baited there, I would have lost. It was basically the only way, and I knew he was almost certainly going to shield the next charge move I threw.
Oh yeah, it was too risky. Like
yeah.
Do you think if he shields his Altaria there and doesn't let the Sludge Bomb come through, are you in more trouble there or less trouble?
I think it was the Ice Beam. Game 4 was the Sludge Bomb. It was Ice Beam.
Am I remembering? I'm sorry.
Yeah, no. Well, it's because
I threw an Ice Beam at the Altaria and he let the Altaria die.
Right.
I think if he had shielded that, I think he probably would have won.
Because Dragon Breath just adds up, right?
Yeah, exactly.
And, I mean, like he didn't need the shield on the Azu so much, so like yeah, Altaria is just scary.
And Sky Attack does just about as much as a Hydro Pump to an Azumarill, so like it's just as valuable to get an extra Sky Attack off than it is to get a Hydro Pump, or probably more.
Yeah,
it's probably close, but the Dragon Breath's definitely like swaying Altaria's favor. And then the pivotal game 3, I think you had this we all thought you had this in the bag once we saw the
yeah. I didn't know he had Psychic. I was really hoping it wasn't.
I think pre-game, like we were talking about this, me and Soler, but I remembered while we were talking about it, the H2 moveset. I remember that on his stream in Go Battle League, he even tweeted about having Psychic, about it's so like nice to hit a Psychic on Altarias and stuff. So I should have told you in the pregame warm-up.
I really wish you had, because even he was telling me that he had like told everyone on his stream that he had Psychic, but
honestly, it would have probably been a 3-0 if you knew that.
Yeah, I think so. I would have been down 0 shields to 2, but I had switch advantage and I had a shit ton of energy, so.
Oh yeah, you had like probably almost 2 frenzy plants at that point, and like if Raichu decides to shield, like he's in so much trouble.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. So someone's asking in chat, why not Zweilous lead?
When?
Well, I think Speedist Chief is asking the question. He basically, I think he led Zweilous once in game 1.
Zweilous, I like using Zweilous because generally it does really well against Altaria as well as like the Haunter, the Raichu, Venusaur, stuff like that. But once I saw that his Altaria had like really good IVs, I didn't really want to bring Zweilous back.
That makes total sense.
Yeah. Did you like the first stage format from Rocket Babyface? So one of the organizers.
I did like it. It was a little bit rocky at the start just because it was a little bit disorganized and it was hard to get in touch with all of your opponents since there weren't group channels or anything like that. But it was fun.
I participated as well, so I would say I definitely enjoyed it as well. I think having like designated group channels for everyone would be better for everyone. I think maybe a bit more exposure might have been good because I think this is really good. Like this tiebreaker is going to be interesting, and hopefully that 3-team tiebreaker will be streamed as well. But the top 8 matches should have picked up a bit of exposure and should be fun for sure for stage 2. Someone's asking, why Swampert as your Gen 3 pick?
Swampert is the one pick on my team that I really regret having.
Oh no!
But I can't find anything else that fits that slot. That like it's my Hypno coverage, it's my Bastiodon coverage. It's like it technically gets all these wins, but it's also super squishy and really hard to bring and easily walled by Altaria, which is everywhere. So I don't like using it. It's honestly mostly bench pressure.
Okay. It's a really interesting pick and definitely very unique because if you look at a lot of the big Voyager tournaments, like barely anyone is bringing the Mud Boys. Next question. Caleb is trolling you by asking why does your Azumarill IVs are so trash?
This is the Azu I've had since I think Toxic Cup or not Toxic.
I've seen better Azus like that you posted in the Montreal chat. So I know
yeah,
you
no,
have better
this is the Azu I've had since Twilight Cup, the original one, and I never built a new one since then. I have a rank 9 buddy boosted one. I'm
ones.
still not sure if it's worth using because Azu doesn't really need that much bulk, and it tends when it has that much bulk, it also tends to lose other matchups like Skarmory and things like that. So I'm not sure it's completely worth having a bulkier one, but also I know I need a better one.
Yeah. Someone's asking why Jirachi lead, and I would say I'm also asking you that question because I don't think we talk about that in the strategic talk we had last night.
I honestly expected him to lead Altaria more, and also I'm perfectly fine with leading Jirachi into Azu, which I also expected. I didn't think he would lead Raichu that much. I led Jirachi into Raichu once. But
Yeah.
mostly, yeah, it was Azu and Altaria, which I'm perfectly fine leading Jirachi into.
I didn't think he was going to bring Raichu that much either. Like, talking about it last night in the strategic meeting, like, we were almost disregarding Raichu as a pick because of your Dwylist, because of Venusaur, because of Swampert. Like, Raichu really doesn't do that well versus your team. But it made so much sense versus a Jirachi and a Azumarill core that we had discussed, actually.
Yeah. Yeah, it was actually pretty scary for me to deal with. Jirachi actually does sometimes win the one shield if the timing of charge moves and stuff is correct, but it's really hard to pull off. Like there was one match, I think when I led Jirachi into Raichu, it was actually a tie.
Yeah. It was a tie, but you snuck in a confusion on his fast move, and that confusion was crucial in the tie, actually.
Yeah.
Trying to look if there's any more questions. Oh, true. Yeah. So with that settled, that makes Canada seed 1 and USA seed 2. Suck it. That match actually didn't change much for stage 2.
Ominous wind.
But basically, what's going to happen is it's top 8, like the top 8 teams out of the 21s that are coming out of group stage 1 are going to be seeded in a bracket. I'm assuming seed 1 will play seed 8 on one side of the bracket, with the other quarterfinals being seed 4 and seed 5. I believe so. Seed 1 should be Canada. Seed 8 will have to be determined by the triple tie that's going on for 7, 8, and 9th place. I believe it's United Kingdom, Chile, and what's the last one? I think it's Greece. I believe so. So they're playing their tiebreaker. I don't know if as we speak or if they played already. So number 1 will play the second team from that tiebreaker. The number 4 and number 5, I believe, are respectively Italy at 4th and Portugal at 5th. So the winner of that will play the winner of Canada versus the second team from the tiebreaker. Other side of the bracket will be the United States versus the first team that comes out of that triple tiebreaker. So second seed versus 7th seed. And then third seed is Spain, I believe, with 94 points. And the 6th team, I actually don't know. It might be Israel. Yeah, it is. So Israel. So we'll have to see what happens in that triple tiebreaker. I don't know if it will be streamed, but I would be really interested to seeing that, to watching that for sure. I don't think it really matters because either way, you're either playing like the big boys, Canada or USA. So, like, I don't know if there's an actual winner of that tiebreaker. There's probably only one loser that doesn't make it to top 8, but it would be a massive upset if any of the 2 teams that they're coming out of that tiebreaker beat either Canada or USA. There's going to be some interesting matchups. I think Italy, Portugal should be really good. So keep an eye on that one. And Israel had a really good run on the back of Parzival, you would think, but there's actually, I think, 3 other Israel players that did better than Parzival, which is the one people know the most. Who does Ervel consider his MVP? It's actually a good question.
Jirachi.
Jirachi, nice.
Your Jirachi is so annoying. That switch
so
is
good.
actually,
no one is prepared for Jirachi.
It's so deadly. It's really deadly. Canada won their freedom. What do you mean our freedom? Well, actually, we're technically still under the United Kingdom. Sounds good. So we'll be rating FP sticks at some point. So it was fun to cast, and USA got destroyed, even though it was 3-2. They got absolutely wrecked.
No chance.
I'll be looking forward to trash talking them in all the chats I'm in.
Oh yeah, this will be fun.
Yeah, so we'll have some fun there for sure. So thanks for coming by and talking about your team. I'm definitely taking notes for regionals.
I know you are. It really annoys me talking about this before regionals.
It was actually a really big brain play by me from like actually not volunteering to do.
You technically did volunteer, but you also threw me under the bus.
Yeah, it's brilliant captain work. Like evil mastermind TCO feeding into the meme, I guess. So really fun casting with Solaire as well.
Thanks for having me. It was a good fun.
Yeah, it was fun. It was fun. Yeah, I'm sure we might be able to cast even more matches from the potential rematch of Canada USA in the finals, but we'll see. We might stream other matches